What's going on, champs and chambettes? It's FireMonkey here, and Epic Games has just announced their brand new 5v5 tactical first-person shooter mode, which is going to play similar to Valorant and Counter-Strike. So in today's YouTube video, I'll be going through the blog post and recapping all the information you need to know about this brand new mode coming to the game in the very near future. Now, first off, what is this? When is it going to be releasing? When can you get your hands on it? Well, this is going to be a new game mode called Ballistic, which will stay enabled in Fortnite, so it's not going to be like an LTM or anything. It'll be similar to like Save the World, Rocket Racing, Lego Fortnite Festival, where it's a permanent game mode addition to the game, and there is a first-person Fortnite experience, which will be launching in early access on December 11th. This is one of the first times we've really seen the term early access being used in Fortnite at all in ages. Now, of course, this is going to be something that is free to play. You're not going to have to buy it like you have to do at Save the World, and it will support both unranked and ranked modes with a whole entire unique system going on for ranked mode that is similar to more esportsy, competitive type of games. They also mentioned here that it's an adrenaline-filled, round-based 5v5 competitive game mode where strategy, tactical teamwork, and individual prowess are essential for victory. So if we go ahead and play this clip right here, this is a short 4-second clip that kind of showcases everything going on with Ballistic. Of course, we might get a longer trailer later down the line, but it just kind of is like, hey, look, we're in first-person mode. You get a nice view of the brand new map you'll be able to play on because there will be custom maps for this mode. You can see some of the skins kind of running out together, which makes it look like a 5v5. Actually, that makes sense. It's a 5v5 mode. They already announced that. I don't know why I'm like, it looks like it could be. You can see that there's a B-bomb site and there's going to be an A-bomb site or rift site, whatever you want to call it. But it is interesting to see that nice little small teaser. Now, in terms of this, it mentions that early access for Ballistic means that it will only be launching with one map, being the Skyline 10 map right here, a starting set of weapons and a limited number of items, and they'll be making adjustments beyond launch based on player feedback, in addition to major new updates such as new maps, weapons, and features. For the Skyline 10 map, you can see the actual image right here on the right side, which actually showcases an A and a B bomb site. I'm assuming based on this video up here having the B bomb site being in orange, that the B bomb site's going to be up here for Skyline 10 and the A bomb site's going to be down here. But for those who don't typically play these type of games, to kind of explain what those orange and blue boxes are, that's an area where you can plant the bomb in, and it can't be planted outside of it. So you can't just be in like in your spawn or something and plant the bomb there. You have to be inside one of these boxes when you go to actually plant that bomb. But it just makes sense because that's how this typical mode actually ends up working in the game. They mentioned that more maps will be coming in the future, and then we get some actual images to show off that Skyline 10 map with a very, very interesting design actually going on here. Yeah, okay, A is blue, as you can tell right there by that little like spray right here. But you can see a lot of newer stuff that is currently on the Chapter 6 Season 1 island, kind of being used as decoration pieces here on this actual map. Here you can actually see one of the bomb sites itself, and it appears we have like some rift fragments and stuff going on the ground here, which is interesting to see, as well as, little pieces of like construction tape or police tape, whatever you want to call it. But it mentions that Ballistic is a no-build mode, and all save presets from your locker will carry over, meaning that any existing outfits, backblings, kicks, wraps, sprays, and emotes will be viewable in this mode. However, pickaxes, contrails, instruments, vehicles, and jam tracks are not used/supported. That's a little odd because some emotes actually use instruments for the actual design and everything, so it makes me wonder, are we going to be doing emotes in first person? Is it something that after you win a match you're able to do an emote or something? Will it use the actual instruments that we have equipped, or will it be something that kind of just uses the default ones? I'm unsure, but it is interesting to see how that works. Next up, they also mentioned something pretty important, which is that at launch, Ballistic will be available in all platforms and regions where Fortnite is supported. However, it won't be available in South Korea and Russia. They're working to make Ballistic available in both of the regions and will provide an update when they have more news to share. But if you're someone who plays in Russia or South Korea when it comes to Fortnite, you'll be unable to play this Ballistic game mode at the launch of its early access. They also mentioned the whole gameplay system here uses this rift point device right here, and it has a round-by-round basis. So every team, or every round, players are sorted into two teams, attackers versus defenders, and attackers aim to plant the reality-tearing rift point device at one of two sites, while defenders do their best to thwart the device from being planted and detonated by actually defusing it if it actually gets planted, or by eliminating the whole entire attacking team. There are no respawns in Ballistic, and a round is over if the rift point device explodes, or either team is fully eliminated. After 6 rounds, players will swap sides, so if you're an attacker, you'll become a defender on the 7th round, and this gives defenders a chance to be attackers and vice versa. The game will be over when either team has 7 rounds total that they've won, and then they mention that you'll start the game with only a Ranger pistol and 800 credits. Credits will be earned from scoring eliminations and planting the device, and spent within a match at the beginning of each round to get additional weapons, such as the ones we'll show down here real quickly in a moment, and weapons and items and stuff to bolster your chances of success. Surviving a round will give you the option to keep all your gear and shields for the next one, minus any consumable items you've used. So if you pick up a flashbang and you use a flashbang, you won't get that back on the start of the next round. However, if you pick up that flashbang and you just don't use it, it's still in your inventory, you'll have that for the next round still, which is nice to actually see. It works like other games of Counter-Strike actually does. You can drop weapons, smoke grenades, and flashbangs at any times for your teammates, and pick them up from eliminated players. The Rift Point device takes 45 seconds to detonate after it's planted, and if it is successfully defended, you'll want to move a fair distance away from it to avoid the risk of being eliminated by the device's blast radius, because if you're close to the actual detonation of the Rift Point device, it will eliminate you regardless of what team you're on, whether you're attacker or defender. Getting eliminated by the blast means losing any gear you might have, and then you can also check the scoreboard at any time during a Ballistic match to see how you and your teammates are doing, and to know what weapons and items your teammates are working with, as well as how much money your team actually has. You won't be able to see the other team's items and money and all that stuff from the actual scoreboard, but you will be able to see your own team's information on that scoreboard. We have assault rifles, which are the bread and butter for Ballistic mode, great for medium and long range encounters, and a nice image of them here. And something to actually mention here is that all weapons are going to be hit scanned for Ballistic, including things like snipers, shotguns, assault rifles, everything. Shotguns are your best friend when it's time to get up close and personal. Quick and deadly submachine guns are a weapons class that pairs well with the element of surprise. Snipers are one of the weapons that by the time you hear one of these go off, it might be too late. And then we have pistols, which are trusted, reliable, compact, and excellent when you're on a budget. Then they start mentioning some of the actual items that are, like flashbangs and stuff you'll be able to use. So we have the smoke grenade right here, which of course creates a wall of smoke to obscure an enemy's line of sight. We have flashbangs, which allows you to blind opponents before skirmishing, but be aware you can blind yourself and your teammates if you're not careful. And then we have flex gadgets. Every Ballistic match starts with players on each team selecting one of 5 flex gadgets that they alone will be able to purchase and use during that match, meaning that every person will be able to select one of these. However, if one of them gets selected, another person can't actually select that. Now, it mentions right here that players can purchase and hold the gadget they've selected and hold 2 in their inventory, but they will not be able to drop or pick up other players' flex gadgets, and they'll have a huge impact on the outcome of the round. So we have the proximity mine, which is going to be like a bouncing Betty or whatever else, where you can place a damaging mine down on the floor, wall, or ceiling to surprise an unsuspecting enemy. They can be picked back up and placed again and will explode if shot, and it's great for booby trapping sites when defending. The bubble shield allows for throwing down a temporary protective shield that's impervious to bullets and projectiles such as grenades. So it's basically, the normal bubble shield from Battle Royale, but being reskinned here a little bit for the mode. We have the recon grenade, which will mark any enemy detected nearby where it's thrown, even if it marks them through walls. Throw a recon gadget onto a site before entering and get a read on who might be waiting for you in order to get the drop on you, and then you can reverse that and get the drop on them. The frag grenade will be something that you'll be able to have as well, which will of course bounce and explode, dealing damage to nearby enemies, but you will also take damage from your own grenades. Allies won't take damage from it, however, which is a nice thing to see. And then we have the impulse grenade. It's a destructive tool that launches enemies and allies away, and it has many creative uses, such as launching teammates onto a site from afar, meaning you can go ahead and either launch an enemy into a corner where they get stuck, or you can launch your teammate into an area where they'll be able to fly up, get a crazy trick shot or something like that, and land on the actual site itself. And then we have to talk about ranked and unranked mode. Unranked play offers a more casual experience if you're looking just to have fun with friends and, try out the mode. It's a great place for you to practice your aim and get a feeling of those flex gadgets. And if someone leaves a ranked, or not a ranked match, but if someone leaves an unranked match, another player will be added as a backfill. And then after an unranked match ends, players will have the option to remain on the same server or to find a new server. So if you're someone who ends up playing it for a little bit and you decide to back out in the middle of a 5v5 match, you will be able to go ahead and have someone else fill in that slot if there's enough people queuing for the mode, meaning that you could also be a player going to play the mode in unranked and accidentally end up in a match that's already in progress and has like 3 out of 7 wins or something like that. But for ranked mode, it is very interesting. If you leave a ranked match, a ranked penalty will be applied to you and you will not be able to join another match for 3 minutes. Or actually not even 3 minutes, but you won't be able to join another match for a period of time. It might increase over time, but they also mentioned that ranked matches matches will not backfill should other players leave, meaning that if you're in a 5v5, someone in the ranked match leaves, you're stuck in a 4v5. There's nothing you can do about it unless that player comes back during a 3-minute grace period. Once they actually end up, having the whole entire leavers penalty going into place, they will have to deal with that, and more information can be seen on the bottom right screen when you're actually in the lobby for Ballistic. But these leaver penalties will change over time to ensure that players who join a ranked match will play their best and stay for the whole match, meaning that if you're someone who typically leaves matches more and more often, you'll have worse and worse leaver penalties. It also mentions here that unlike ranked Battle Royale and Reload, matchmaking in ranked Ballistic will be based on the average rank of your party, not the party's highest ranking member, and then they'll be making adjustments to matchmaking as they get feedback by the players, and then the winning team gains rank Ballistic and the losing team will lose rank. The exact amount each player gains or loses is influenced by the following: their current rank, rounds won, rounds lost, eliminations, and assists. AFK or leaving players will have an additional rank loss than normal, and your rank will be perfected if you actually lose your first match of the day. So it has a really solid rank system actually in play here. Then they go ahead and mention that, setting options for the mode are going to be things such as showing spread in first person and showing recoil in first person, which will toggle whether the reticle will expand to show your weapon spread, and toggle whether the reticle will move away from the screen center to show recoil. They also mentioned that, this is going to be an option that's added to the actual game UI in the settings menu, and it might be available for all modes, but it looks like based on the way they're talking about it right here, it's only going to be available for Ballistic right now. And then they mentioned that Ballistic launches in early access on December 11th, 2024, but it is interesting to see this just kind of getting dropped out of the blue. If you guys recall to a year ago, we had a few modes that kind of announced all at the same time. We had Lego Fortnite, Fortnite Festival, Rocket Racing, all announced in December, and now a year later, we've had Fortnite OG, we've had Ballistic announced, and who knows, maybe we'll get a third mode announced before the very end of the year. Until next time, however, hope you champs and champions enjoyed today's YouTube video. Hope it kind of explained a lot of stuff going on with Ballistic. Like the video if you liked it, dislike if you didn't like it, and until next time, peace out.